Hello dear students, so let us continue our work with the chapter 5 factorization, and we are working with exercise 5c. Okay, now in this particular exercise we are going to make use of this formula. Okay, so which is quite familiar to all of us. Okay, let us begin with the first question, that is question number 12. So I had given you a few work, so I hope you have done those work. Now with the basics which I have already learned, we are going to start our question number 12. So in question number 12 we need to factorize this thing. Okay, so let us quickly see the full solution, then I'll explain you how the things are happening out here. Okay, now I have just opened the bracket, so we will just multiply a into a minus 1 minus, so if you open the bracket then you have this one. Okay, so please make sure that whenever there is a minus sign outside the bracket you have to change the sign. You have to change the sign. That means by multiplication the minus into minus becomes plus out here. Okay, now I'm taking this square terms together. Okay, so when these square terms are kept together, then this a square minus b square can be written as this one, right? Okay, and similarly if I take this minus outside, then this plus becomes minus. Okay, so again if you see in these two, a minus b are common. So if I take a minus b as common, then I have a plus b left from here. So a plus b, and here since a minus b is gone, nothing is left. Nothing is left means there is 1. So my factorization of this particular thing will be equals to this much. Pause the video to note down. Okay, let us move to the next question, that is question number 15. So we need to factorize this particular thing. Okay, so like last time we are going to keep the square terms together. Okay, so basically this and the first one will be kept together. So if I do that, then I have this one, right? And this can be written in perfect square manner, that is it will be equals to 3a whole square, and similarly this can be written as 4b, this can be written as 8b whole square. So we have 3a whole square minus 8b whole square, and as usual if I put a square minus b square formula, then I have this one, right? Okay, and let me keep this thing in bracket. Okay, now if you see this and this both are common, so if I take them common, then from this part I have 3a plus 8b, and from here since this is gone only 1 is left. Okay, so this is my factorization of this particular thing. So please pause the video to note down. Okay, we'll move on to next question, question number 16. Okay, so here we want to factorize this thing. Okay, now you might be wondering that let us keep these two things together. Now if I do that, again I'll get a square minus b square format. But the thing is, if we go back to the earlier problem, see here when I kept them together I applied the formula. Okay, and after applying the formula I see that this part and the leftover part, that means this leftover part will be same, so that I can take them common. But here in this case if I do that, no, if I keep this and this together, I can apply a square minus b square formula, but after applying a square minus b square formula I won't have anything common which can be taken outside. So that's why what am I going to do here is, let's see whether this first part can be written in perfect square format or not. Okay, now this can be written as 2a whole square, right? Okay, so if I write this as 2a whole square, then okay, so let me show you this way. Okay, now if I write this as 2a whole square Okay, and this can be written as, this part can be written as minus 2 into 2a. Okay, so only this much gives me 4a, right? 2 into 2 is 4a, but there is 12a. So to make it 12a, I need to multiply it by 3, right? Okay, and this 9 can be written as, 3 square. Okay, so if you see here, it is like a square minus 2ab plus b square. So a square minus 2ab plus b square gives me a minus b whole square. Okay, so that's what I have done here. So we have a minus b whole square. Okay, where a is 2a and b is 3. Okay, now, okay, so after this is done, then we see that this is a square minus, okay, so if this can be written in whole square formula or perfect square, then we have this one, right? So this is now again a square minus b square format. So if I do that, then my a is this one, so a minus b into a plus b, right? Okay, so my answer will be this one. Okay, so pause the video to note down. Okay, let us go to the next sum. Okay, so we want to factorize this particular thing. Okay, now first let us open this bracket. Let's multiply these two. So after multiplying, I'll get this one, this much. Okay, now next thing is, I'm going to break this 4ab into two parts. One is this 2ab, another is this 2ab. Okay, now if I do that, then I have one part which can be kept this way, right? And the leftover part can be kept this way. Now let me take minus common in this part, then I have this line. Yes, okay, now we clearly say that this is nothing but a minus b whole square formula, right? Okay, now this also can be written in perfect square format. How? Let us see. Okay, now this part will be equals to this much. Now I want you to verify this by yourself. Okay, and this is in direct formula, that is a minus b whole square. So we have a square, this is a square minus b square format, so which is equals to a minus b into a plus b. So this is my a minus b into a plus b. Okay, so when you open the bracket, then my answer will be this much. Pause the video to note down. We'll go to the next question, question 23. Okay, so question is this one. Okay, now let's try to keep it in a square minus b square formula. This is already given in whole square formula, so whole square format, and let us try to keep this in whole square format. So if I keep it in whole square format, then I have this much. So we have a square minus b square. So if I call this as a, this part as a, then this is a minus, and if I call this as b, then we have b. So a minus b and into a plus b, right? Okay, now let us see whether we can factorize this further. Let us see. Now there's xy, 4xy term here, so let me take this and keep it together with x square plus 4y square, and let us check whether they can be written in whole square or whole square format. Yeah, okay, so as I said, I have kept them together. Okay, now if you see here carefully, then this part can be written as x minus 2y whole square. Okay, so you can expand this and you can check this will be exactly equals to this one, and similarly this can be written as 3z whole square, right? Same thing is happening in other side as well. Okay, so you check by yourself. Now this is again a square minus b square format, this part, right? So let us apply a square minus b square formula. So we have a minus b into a plus b. Same thing is happening out here as well. Okay, now just open the bracket and simplify, so your answer will be this much. Pause the video to note down. We will move on to next question. Okay, so you want to factorize this one. So as usual, it is seen that this can be written as 3a whole square, and this is already given in perfect square. So again put a square minus b square formula. Okay, so this is a, this is my b. So when I put a square minus b square, then I have a minus b into a plus b, right? Okay, now just open the bracket, then you have this one and you have this part. Now if you see here carefully, okay, if you see here carefully, let me write in the decreasing order of power. Here power is 2, here it is 1, and here actually we don't have any a, right? So it is actually a quadratic expression. Both are quadratic expression. Now let us check whether these two can be factorized further. Okay, so you have already learned in your first exercise, that is exercise 5a. So just have a look at that exercise and you know how to factorize them using midterm breaking. Okay, so just do that part and you'll have your final answer to be this much. So pause the video to note down. Okay, so the next question is this one. Okay, now we have learned few formula in expansion, if you remember. So you want to factorize this part, right? Okay, so this is looking somewhat like a square, right? And this is looking somewhat like, this part is looking somewhat like 1 by a square, right? Okay, now if we can introduce plus 2 out here, plus 2 out here, plus 2 out here, then this can be written as, a plus 1 by a whole square, right? So the same thing I'm going to do out here. So we have, as I said earlier, okay, so I have introduced 2, okay, and there is minus 1 to make it plus 1. Okay, to balance I have put minus 1. So as I said earlier, this can be written as equals to this much, right? So we have at last this one, and this one can be written as 1 square. So if I call this whole thing as a and this one as b, we have a square minus b square. So put the formula, so you have a plus b into a minus b. Okay, so this is our answer. This one is our answer. So pause the video to note down. So we will move on to the last question for the day, that is question number 29. Okay, so you want to factorize this part, right? Okay, now let me take minus common from this part, because when I take minus common, whatever is left, this can be expressed as perfect square. Okay, and this will be equals to this much. Okay, so this 12x can be written as 2 into, this is into, okay, so okay, so basically this can be directly written this way. So you just check it out. Okay, now this 4x to the power 4 can be written this way, right? So we have a square minus b square format. So this is my a, so a square minus this is my b, so b square. So a square minus b square is as usual a plus this is my b, similarly this is my a minus b. Okay, so after opening the bracket you will get minus out here. Okay, now again check whether you will be able to factorize this or not. Okay, this is quadratic expression and you have already learned in the first exercise of the chapter. So just check whether you will be able to factorize this or not. Similarly, you need to check this, whether you will be able to factorize this or not. Okay, you won't be able to factorize this part. Why? You have to find your answer from the first exercise. Okay, now you will be able to factorize this part. Okay, so just factorize it using midterm breaking. So your answer will be this much. So pause the video to note down. Thank you very much.